The key to overcoming molestation is making the choice to forgive those that have violated you. Forgiveness is one of the most talked about issues in the Bible. God knew people would wrong you, and he knew that it would be hard to forgive. But this is what you must do. You must make the choice to forgive. Your violators have violators, and forgiving them won't be an easy task. Because first you have to start dealing with your own emotions. First you have to even say, I want to deal with this. One of the things that you may experience is people saying, I don't know what you're talking about, in denial. But you have to continue to push on. Bitterness and anger and unforgiveness cause nothing but health problems. Trust me, I know. I ended up having to have a 9-hour back surgery, and I was in the hospital for 7 days due to unforgiveness. Every time I would think about my violators and the things that people had done to me, would always go to my lower back. Well, it caused my disc to start deteriorating. So now they had to take out a disc and put a piece of metal in, and fuse me back together. God let me know. You did this. Never been in any car accidents. Never had any slip and falls. None of that. And when God started dealing with me about this forgiveness, one person in particular, he told me to call and forgive. And this is the individual that beat me to the point you wouldn't have recognized the left side of my face. I picked up the phone and I said, all right, God, no, but here's what I did. Called the individual. He said, you know what, I forgive you for everything that you've ever done to me, everything you've ever said, every choke, every slap, every beat down, every time you rammed my face into the wall. And you know, I was in tears as I was saying. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. If you feel like that's what you need to do, so be it. At that moment, I had mixed emotions, but I was at peace because God didn't tell me to wait on him to accept the fact of what he did. He told me to forgive him. What goes on from there is out of my hands. Out of my hands. Taking the high road don't always feel good. And you may not be able to address all of your violators, but if you have the opportunity to, you need to go to them and release it. And let them know, I forgive you for what you've done. I forgive you for a part of my life that you've taken away. I forgive you for making my life a living hell. I forgive you for not allowing me to grow into my own, to see how a man is supposed to treat a woman. I forgive you for making me feel like sex and sensuality and sexuality is all I have. I forgive you for every violation that you've done against me. I forgive you. I forgive you. I'm going to give you some keys to forgive, the 5 keys to forgiveness. Key number 1 is acknowledge. No more deceiving yourself. No more pretending like nothing happened. I had a young lady say, well, all he asked me to do was kind of touch his penis. She was 7. Don't downplay what the enemy has allowed. That's how he gets in your mind. He starts to make you think, oh, it really wasn't anything. That is perverted behavior. Acknowledge what they did to you. You have a right to be angry. Scripture says, be angry but do not sin. You have a right to be angry. You have a right to be angry. As you're listening to this, I know it's going to cause some emotions to come up. Some emotions to be stirred up. It's time out. It's time out for the foolishness. It's time out for living life. You sat back and you let your self-esteem go. It's called self-esteem, not other folks' esteem. You've given someone control over your life all of these years. You're in a marriage and you can't even start to trust your husband because of what happened to you. You can't even make love to your mate the way you should be able to because your mind is replaying the acts that the man in your life caused. It's time out. It's time out. So number one is to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge it. Don't quit pushing it in. It's time to let the skeletons out the closet. Trust me when I say, when you start to bring it up and mention it to your family and start confronting people about it, it's going to cause family problems. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. However, you have to understand that the more you keep it closed and bottled up, the more that the enemy's sitting back laughing because now he's playing mind games on you. He has you thinking that you are the one causing the issue when someone else is the one that violated you. The devil is a lie. He needs to be exposed because you don't know who this person may have violated other than you. You could be saving somebody else. Acknowledge it. Get your strength from the Lord and acknowledge it.